Hey people, Mindred here, VV3, SD Province. Blue team is double Warbosses, EceH4iK. The font on the name panel here is horrible, but I assure you it's ECE. And we also have FaffyWaffle. These guys are melee heroes that walk through objects, very good offense, disruption and support. From the front lines, they are generally angry all the time at everything. This is the Death Skulls elite scheme they're rocking as well. And rounding off the team is Robert. I believe this is Zeetorq, a veteran player who likes to change their name constantly. Also likes to play Chaos Sorcerers, offensive and disruptive heroes with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Red team, Orconero's Force Commander, very strong offense, fighting in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support. Blood Angels elite scheme here. Alongside vatk0end with a brother captain, a durable hero walking through objects, cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and support, fighting in melee. And they might go down in melee. Down they go, surrounded by sluggers and a Warboss. Doesn't have a great way to deal with clumps of units early on. He can pop We Are the Hammer these days to get a little bit of splash damage on his melee attack, but FaffyWaffle with triple sluggers. Rounding off the team is Rem Is My Waifu as a Plague Champion. Starts off with the damage of a time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, some strong utility and support, can also repair. And it's Chaos versus Chaos on the east side. Zeetorq versus Nurgle, and the Plague Champion I think is going to fall. Down they go. Doom Blast at the end wasn't needed, but I appreciate it. On the west side, Warboss is really angry at this building because scouts got inside of it. Force Commander sees him off. The scouts have shotguns now. Tack's backing away because double shooters and sluggers are staring him down. Well, here comes the Force Commander to help out. And these guys, looks like they've used their shotgun blast already because they're missing energy here. They probably used it on the Warboss, which pissed him off a lot. We have a War Banner up, which is buffing these Orks. It's quite a small buff, but it's constantly active while you're near it. You can also activate the War Banner for a buff that lasts a long time. It's also a relatively small buff, but it all stacks up with them using War themselves. Chaos Space Marines with Eternal War here for Rem Is My Waifu. They've dropped their Heretics. They have double CSM, both with Eternal War, but the Plague Champion and their Heretics are down. Zeetorq's Heretics got away, and they've got single CSM here behind some heavy cover. Just kind of ignoring the bolt of fire while they slowly shoot down this node. Sorcerer could try to tie them up, but then they'd be shot at by the other CSM and stuff. There's a Doom Bolts. Beautifully hit Doom Bolts, and drops a model on those Chaos Space Marines. Strike Squad coming over now for VAT with Tomes of Titan. They've got double Strike Squad up actually, with double Tomes of Titan. It's got the reading in. These guys turn and face down. It's going to be multiple sluggers, and yes, use your choppers. Ordinarily, a Strike Squad would do excellent work against a single slugger squad, but there's loads of them, and they're buffed, and those guys are dead. Strike Squad wiped off the map. Brother Captain still down. Plague Champion down. Red team not having a good time early on. Orcs having a lot of fun. And that Sorcerer doing some good work as well. Now the Strike Squad are fighting the Warboss. Might go down. I think they're gonna make it away. They are. Might get a cheeky decap on the VP here perhaps. West side, Force Commander might get shot to death. He's alright. We have double, triple shooters here actually for ECE with big shooters in their hands. More range, more damage on those weapons. They get 2 big shooters per squad when they get that upgrade. Now we have flame attacks, bashing power for Orconero, and a scout squad helping them out. They have their sergeant. Force Commander drew all the fire, and those guys got some bashing done. And there might have been a full farm. They might have bashed 2 gens as well. Scouts being sneaky. Maybe looking for a grenade. These guys don't have knob leaders, so they can't spot the sneaky scouts. Oh, but now they've uninfiltrated. There's the grenade, looking for the sluggers. Couldn't get it. Inquisitorial Stormtroopers have their sergeant as well, so they get an impact grenade. They're going to get on the power though, with burner sluggers and tons of Daka. They might be able to get this power completely down. Force Commander's going to try and stop them. They're just going to piss off the Warboss more, I think. Assault squad on the way now for Orconero. That has not replaced the strike squad with anything. Rem is my waifu. Did get some more heretics up. And, oh, Zeetorq's just gone tier 2. So has FaffyWaffle. FaffyWaffle did drop one of their slugger squads. But they go to tier 2 with 2 of them. No burners or anything. Very quick tier 2s. Rem just goes tier 2 now as well. Can they get the power down completely? I don't think they'll get the node. They did get that last generator. Here we see some Death Company assault squad coming in here. Oh hey, Mind Blade's up on the strike squad. Global buff from the brother captain, which is actually very much like user choppers. I think it's slightly weaker than user choppers, but maybe it costs slightly less. Rebuild power, asks Orconero. They just spent a bunch of power on their assault squad. There we go. Rem just got one up, and there's another one from Orconero. What is VAT up to? They're up to Nemesis Force Sword time. Increases the effectiveness of We Are the Hammer, which is starting ability. And it's a power weapon. And there's the tier 2. That's what they're up to. Death Dread on the way for FaffyWaffle. And tier 2 on the way for EceH4iK. Orconero will be the last player in tier 1. Here comes a stomp. Strat squad might drop a model here if the Warboss can focus on one of them. Nope. Oh, they're trying to break line of sight to these double CSM here. Yeah, I think they're attacking a different model now. But if they stayed where they were, they would have got shot down. They got shot down anyway. Plague Champion was also helping out. When did they get revived? Not sure, actually. I'm not sure who did reviving and who just rebought. 463 to 400. 2-1 cap for the red team. Starting to stabilize a little bit after some losses early on. Rem is my waifu, getting double mark of Zinc CSM immediately in tier 2. Now that's, I don't think I agree with that strategy. There's no heavy infantry in these armies. I mean, Markov Zinch does a lot of damage to all infantry, don't get me wrong. But an impact unit like Bloodletters or a Blood Crusher or something might have been better. Maybe. Here comes a Death Dread anyway. These guys can't do much about it. I don't see any anti-vehicle stuff queued up around here. Orconero could get a missile launcher for these tactical marines, and the assault squad can get Thunder and Lightning Melter Bomb as well. There's some Nurgle worship to help out with some health regen. The CSM did drop a model. Burners and bits on the Death Dread as well. It's worth pointing out for more hit points and some burners. There's Battle Rights for a heal over time, which does affect allies, as you can see. Also gives him some nice passive upgrades, more energy, more health, more energy regen, and a cooldown reduction on abilities. Use your choppers and Ard Boys on the sluggers, but they still got messed up. Really messed up. In fact, they wiped. Those guys wiped. The strike squad get away. Brother Captain doing huge amounts of work with their buffs and stuff there. Oh, they got Bulwark up too. And then they go down. They should get easily revived from there. Rod of Warp Fire for Zeetorq, Sorcerer, and the Icon of Zeech. Demon Armor is also up. Fully kitted out in tier 2 here. Are they rushing tier 3 here, Zeetorq? 413 to 400 on the VPs. Death Dread doing huge amounts of work. Just massive amounts. Chaos Space Marines get their aspiring champion. And Rem finally getting something up to counter the Death Dread. They're going for some Plague Marines. There's some Nurgle worship back in base. Death Dread backs off though. They did lose a bunch of hit points just from sheer amount of firepower they were facing there, but they live to stomp around another day. But it's going to be the same day, technically. It's permanent night here in Estia province. West side, Warboss with a Power Claw now. Scary melee weapon with heavy melee DPS. And get some capping done over there. While these guys bash. Assault Squad gets in there though. And there's no sluggers around to really threaten them. But they can get suppressed, as we saw, by aiming. What's that? Thunderhammer Force Commander now. Another jump. Makes them retreat. Where are the sluggers? Oh, here they are. They have their Nob Leader and the burners, so they are going to be a big threat to those Assault Marines. If they can get a good jump and a good merciless strike, though, they'll mess them up, especially with Force Commander support. Throwing around battle cries and special attacks from that Thunderhammer. Knocking stuff around. Back down to the southeast. This is Rem having to bash their own power to get it back here. So they stole it for a bit, the blue team. Oh no. Robert just lost some CSM. Where were they? Where's the Sorcerer? I don't know where they were. Can I see their bodies anywhere? Where was fighting even happening? I don't know. Where were your CSM, Zeetorq? They're getting some Plague Marines now. I want to find these bodies, damn it. That's Inquisitorial Stormtroopers lying there. I can't see them. Maybe I'm blind. Oh, these guys have their Acolyte Warrior Leader guy now. Where are those CSM? Did they run into base somewhere by accident? I don't see them. All I see is a REM CSM lying around. There's one CSM model. 'Tis a mystery. Doombolts. Ouch! That was a painful Doombolts, and down they go to ranged attacks. That's what happens when you don't have an aspiring champion on your guys. Assault Squad jumping in. Force Commander teleporting in. And there's that Battle Cry special. Noxious Cloud thrown in by Rem as well. This could be a really bad fight for the Orks. They do spot the Noxious Cloud. Look at the damage it does. I don't think they dropped a squad, but they dropped a bunch of models, that's for sure. Where are those Chaos Space Marines that died? It's a mystery. I'm very annoyed that I don't know where they are. Zeetorq's just getting all of the CSM. It seems like they just let them die somewhere so they could get a bunch of CSM. That's something Zeetorq would do. But I don't see him. I really don't see him. There's a Warp Fire. We're gonna have 5 squads of Plague Marines for some reason. I don't know. I assume they are looking to bash base turrets and stuff. We will see how it goes. And flash kits for FaffyWaffle, 2 of them. 395 to 321. They don't have the vestments of the warp because they could teleport behind the base and then warp the Plague Marines back there, or one of them at least. The Plague Marines won't care that much about the base turrets. They'll still fight at the same rate. Strat Squad in a bad spot. Sluggers also taking a bunch of damage though. It's going to be close, but the Strat Squad go down. Vat again massively misjudging a fight, and they lose more Strat Squad. Those guys got away though. What is this? This is a very chaotic game so far. Assault Squad get a cap. Nicely done, Orconero. 355 to 321. It's more Strike Squad for Vat. What are they up to? There's all those dead heretics. And here's all the Plague Marines. It's a lot. It's a lot of Plague and Marine. Warboss is down. Just outside their base. Maybe the Strat Squad chased them through. That's why they're there. Death Dread running into base. Goes after the Plague Marines. They're the biggest threat to it. I think they're going to go down yet. You only get 35 red for a Death Dread. Seems a little bit stingy. Brother Captain's level 4 now. Mantle of Terror still up, but they have a Nemesis Warding Staff in play now. So they're very support heavy with the Bulwark, which is a single target buff. I think it's 35% melee damage resistance. It also gives you 15% melee damage output buff as well. So they've got that, they've got Battle Rights, they've got We Are the Hammer, and now they have Ward. So they can buff the crap out of stuff, not to mention their Mind Blades Global, of course. They can make one squad really powerful. They'd probably want it to be Purifiers or Terminators or Paladins or something, though, not a Strike Squad. Dreadnought on the way for Orconero. More flash kits for the Orks. And tier 3 for Zeetorq. There's Mind Blades on those Strat Squad. Flash kits do have their blasters. Powerful anti-heavy infantry psychic attack guns. What's the power melee damage on this again? Almost 75 power melee DPS. I think that was increased slightly recently. I think it used to be... Didn't used to be 71, the same as the Librarian, Space Marine Librarian stuff. I think that's the case. Sluggers get a decap under fire. Level 3 for FaffyWaffle with no upgrades. Meanwhile, west side, red team's starting to make strides now. They bashed that power completely. They have the VP. They're going to get their natural back. And they're bashing the northeast power. Indeed they are. Here's a bunch of Daka for you though. FaffyWaffle with triple flash kits. All with blasters now. It's going to be nasty. They're not doing it extra against Plague Marines because Plague Marines are not heavy infantry technically. But against the Strat Squad and the CSM, going to be a bad time for those fellas. Here's your Dreadnought then. Smacking through some shooter boys already. Trying to fight a Warboss. Well, the Warboss is trying to fight it more accurately. It's not going to have a good time. Even with a Power Claw and heavy armor. Doesn't want to fight a Dreadnought 1v1. Tactical Marines helping out a little bit. The shooters can't really threaten a Dreadnought either. Warboss is going to die if they're not careful. Looks like they were careful enough. They get away. 302 to 254 on the VPs. Orks through the mid. Red team had a bit of momentum there, but now the blue team have come back swinging with a bunch of flash kits and stuff. And whatever the hell Zeetorq is doing. Are they bashing? Yeah, they're bashing turrets, look. 2 turrets down on that eastern edge. 299 to 254. Flash kits exploding CSM. A lot. They can't stay bunched up like this. They're not going to trade at all. Flash kits are heavy infantry, so Mark of Zinc CSM will do a lot of damage to them. They're now supported by the Demonic Shield, and there's stuff getting subjugated as well. Strat Squad getting subjugated. Chaos Terminators now for Rem. Got to be careful though. Sorcerer can mess with them a lot. Can subjugate them. Could also Chains of Torment them to lock them in place. Does a special attack and runs. Level 9 Chaos Sorcerer. What is happening? FaffyWaffle getting 4 flash kits up. West side. Are those guys going to get the cat? Go on, fellas. Force Commander's doing what he can. Or they run away. They jumped away from the Warboss. They did not want to mess with it. Dreadnought gets repaired, though. I don't know why they're fighting the Warboss here. There we go. Should have just lured him into a fight with the Dreadnought and then jumped over him into this stuff, maybe. But, I mean, there were sluggers there. Force Commander did what they could. Had to run as Artificer Armor. Some extra beef. And, yeah, this Dreadnought is still not going to really be threatened. Flash kits do not have good weapons against vehicles. Even though the blasters look very impressive when they fire, they do not do good damage to vehicles at all with their psychic damage type. Almost gets them. Meanwhile, northeast, there's Bulwark on those Strat Squad. Oh, they're Purifiers. Hey. These guys are going to do really well with all that Brother Captain support, if they can make it out of here. If they can approach, because Warp Fire's in. Ouch. And because these blasters don't really have a wind-up time, like Wraithguard do, they tend to hit moving targets quite well. Which I always thought should have been changed. Why were they not given a wind-up time? It would have really helped to make them not like oppressively nuts. Were they? Maybe they were given a slight wind-up time at some point. We'll see if we can spot that. Tier 3 for Orconero. Maybe they can get some Terminators up. But do you want Terminators with these flash kits around? Especially with the Sorcerer. Are they going to go for base again? Oh look, these guys are repairing the base. Quite impressive, fellas. Where is Rem's units? Oh. Warboss got a decap, they have to take it back. Well, this is going to be a thing. Rem's going to need some assistance for sure. Purifiers are moving to intercept. Brother Captain's with them. There's the battle rights. Have they popped We Are the Hammer already? Can I see We Are the Hammer when this buff is here? I'm not sure if I can. Oh, they threw the bulwark on the Strat Squad that time. Seems like a mistake. And now Strat Squad gets subjugated and a Rocks goes in as well. There's an orbital. Absolute madness. That seemed to take a while to commit their purifiers there, and their purifiers did not get the bulwark buff. We have Lightning Claw, Chaos Terminators, which are going to be super effective at killing stuff, but they're going to be... It's going to be so risky to use them with the Sorcerer around and all those flash kits. They did alright there. Especially if VAT stacks buffs on these guys, which would be huge amounts of heresy, but very effective. I wonder if Zeetorq is tempted to go for the Robes of Torment now for those guys. We got some Vanguard veterans for Orconero. Jumping in. Oh, they're going for the Warboss again. I don't know why. Well, I guess they want to get rid of the Warboss. But these guys can't do it with all that Daka there and a tank shooting them as well. Not to mention this Warboss has almost 2,000 hit points already. Not even level 3. And here comes another Warboss. Down goes the Force Commander. Got Power Clawed in the back of the head. Oh, they just showed up to start capping. FaffyWaffle. Warboss with a boss pole on the way. There's that tank. Doesn't have the reinforced plating yet, so can't do the boom shot, whatever it's called, boom gun. Plague Marine's got a decap there for Rem. And Interceptors on the way for VAT. Zeetorq has only Plague Marines now. I mean, what else do you need? It's not very Zinchian though, is it? Did they get any more of the turrets? No. Heretics, they should be repairing this turret right now. They're not doing so. The tank is very low. What happened to the tank so quickly? Oh, there's a las cannon. Maybe it had for the Emperor on it or something. Chaos Terminator is getting low. I'm not sure if they have a teleport available. There's that demoralization on kill effect. Can they get, though? They got those flash kits, you know. They kill flash kits so quickly. Flash kits, as I mentioned earlier, are heavy infantry. So they're taking extra damage from the Lightning Claws, which have splash damage, power melee. And they just got torn apart there. And the Terminators made it away somehow. I don't think they want to loiter around because they're going to get subjugated otherwise. But it's Strat Squad that gets subjugated. Interceptors getting in there, throwing the crack grenade. The psych-out grenade, sorry. That suppressed all those guys. They recovered from the suppression quite quickly, though, it seems. Doom Bolts. Ouch. Big ouch as a Doom Bolts with a Warp Fire thrown in as well. Really nasty. Really nasty. Oh, no. Are you going to die? Interceptors, I think, are going to die from the damage over time from one of those. Yep. All those Plague Marines that damage over time. And they got their Psy Cannons. VAT has struggled to preserve their units, really. And there's more death for VAT. Level 6 Brother Captain down on the west side. Is that why? Were they microing this Brother Captain around? 210 to 208. Terminators. Where are the Terminators? Oh, they are reinforcing back at base. Dreadnought backs off. With all those Plague Marines around, you can understand why. 2-1 coming in for the blue team. VPs are even. I feel like if Zeetorq was focusing on VPs, they'd be much further ahead. Because they might have been able to just sit on this central VP here, because VAT has been quite weak quite a lot of the time, losing units. At the moment, they only have stormtroopers up. Rem doing their best to trade. There's some Tzeentchian bolts. I like how the Plague Champion got double mark with Tzeent CSM, and the Chaos Sorcerer got all the Plague Marines. Trying to split the CSM apart a bit. It's going to be big ouches though. Nasty. Yeah, they don't seem to have a wind-up time gun still. Unless it's not a wind-up time that you can perceive with effects. Maybe it's like an internal wind-up time. More Chaos Terminators. Yes, double Chaos Terminators for Rem. Vat is really being carried at the moment by Orconero and Rem, but they've got some Paladins up. That's a big deal. Meanwhile, Force Commander goes down on the west side. Tack's getting a decap. Vanguard Veterans doing what they can. I don't know if they're going to make it out. They do not make it out. Jumped into a whole lot of trouble. Here come Paladins. And they're running into a whole lot of trouble here. But they're hugely powerful. 5,400 hit points on these guys. There is the Onslaught, which looks awesome. I think that's what it's called. And now they're fighting a Warboss. Oh, they have Trophy Rack too. Yeah, taking that Warboss down is kind of a priority, because that debuff is nasty. We've got a Nurgle Shrine with some worship. Here come Lightning Claw Terminators out of nowhere. Oh, they're getting subjugated though. And they're using their teleport to get them into trouble. Are they going to get away from that? I don't know. At least they couldn't subjugate both of them, eh? Now they're going to get shot. And they can't teleport away. Because they just used it. Thanks to Zeetorq and his shenanigans. And they are deleted. 194, 166. Kind of surprised it didn't happen to the first Terminators. But yeah, that's what a Sorcerer can do to your Terminator squads. Gonna get some Nurgle worship though off that shrine. I think it's 7% when that shrine procs a 7% heal. It's pretty nice to have percentage-based healing out in the field like that. Terminators are pushing and they get vomited on by Zeetorq's Great Unclean One. Did they die? Oh, they teleported out. I thought they all fell over dead. Brother Captain, what's he doing? Running? I think so. Here's those Paladins. They're a great target for the Bulwark and all the buffs and stuff. Those guys, oh, they reinforced off the shrine before he got taken down. 174 to 163. Blue team taking the west side again. Here come Paladins. Maybe he should have waited a bit. Oh, they got subjugated immediately. Rem is trying to shoot down the Sorcerer, but he's level 10. He's got over 1,000 hit points. Great Unclean One coming in now, passively damaging nearby enemies. Big nasty abilities. Yeah, those Chaos Terminators just can't stick around with all this damage. Paladin's getting absolutely wrecked by the flash gits. I'm not sure how often those Plague Marine missiles are hitting them. It used to be that Terminator variants were large targets and anti-vehicle weapons always hit them. But that was changed. They're now medium-sized targets, I think. So they don't always get hit by anti-vehicle weapons. There's a Noxious Cloud. Plague Marines just kind of toughen it out as they do. Standing in the Demon Shield. 174 to 123. The Demonic Shield's always a bit confusing because it gives units a yellow circle buff, which is usually a damage buff. I'm not sure why it is that. It's like that. It should give the blue defensive buff, I think. I wonder if there's some kind of issue with it where they can't do that. Like this. Hard Boys, blue defensive buff, like Fortune, like all the other blue things. Orc Battle Wagon on the way for FaffyWaffle. Level 4 Warboss there. Where about this guy? Level 7. Not decapping though. Orbital goes off. Does hit some guys, but did not hit the Plague Marines. And they're going into base. There's a nuke from Zeetorq. Imperial Abyss. Great and Clean One might go down. They could warp it out, but it wouldn't go far. There it is. It goes down. Terminator's teleporting in. They're quite low, though. And now they're subjugated. They didn't even get the turret down. For some reason, Zeetorq subjugated them and walked them back to safety, which was nice of him. 174 to 123. Zeetorq is not at all interested in victory point control. Level 3 flash gets there. Is all of this messing around gonna lead to ruin for the blue team? I mean, they have huge armies. You don't expect it to. Great Unclean One again on the way for Zeetorq. Maybe that's why they just let that one die. They knew they could get another one soon. They still have a little bit of population left. They could put up a shrine to Zeetorq or something. Hey, Land Raider Redeemer is up for Orconero. And they still have a... They got 2 Dreadnoughts, you guys. Dark Age of Technology on both. I mean, it's a good thing to get against a bunch of flash kits. And now that there's a Nob Squad as well, they might get Assault Cannon for the second one, maybe. So they could barrage the flash kits. EceH still holding on to the double shooters, which is quite cute. A lot of players would have just thrown them to death and got more flash kits. Force Commander's still down here. Can somebody revive? That now has Holy Armor of Titan, the Bulwark and the Nemesis Warding Staff, and they are killing sluggers. I'm not sure if EceH is throwing them away there. It's GG, says Orconero. Uh-oh. Land Raider just pushed the scouts off the cap there. They are no longer capping. Nice rear armor hit from the las cannon. We do not have Assault Cannon Dreadnought yet. Double melee Dreadnought. That should make the Nob Squad really think twice about coming in. Paladins are really far forward. That's Ward and Bulwark on them there. But they're still getting absolutely destroyed. They're not going to get away from this, I don't think. Yeah. VAT now has no units on the field. I mean, what could they get? I don't know if they can defend the mid at all. Here comes a battle wagon saying hello to all the CSM with some flash kit support. Chaos Terminator is doing their thing, chewing through the infantry. And here comes the Nob Squad with Ard Boys and Frenzy up. Upgraded with their Nob Leader and Hugh Jammers as well. Double Dreadnoughts getting on them. And Lightning Claw Terminator is there too. Big Zap Gun shot deletes the las cannon. Imperial Abyss from Rem that time. Couldn't quite hit those Plague Marines perfectly. Now the Land Raider's in big trouble because there's a bunch of Plague Marines here. And down it goes. Not to mention a Great Unclean One, of course. 166 to 123. This is going to be the last fight, I think. Orconero is going to lose their army here, trying to hold this west side. They've done so well, though, Orconero. There's an orbital from, I assume, Orconero. They probably got loads of red, losing their army there. Interceptors with side cannons on the way for VAT. 2 to 1 for blue. Well, the interceptors got away this time. They got away. Level 6 Warboss. Level 7 Warboss. I lost all, says Orconero. It might be that they're trying to concede, but their allies won't. VAT's brother captain fell over. Plague Champion's now idle. These guys are moving. They got a tank. Gonna get Mark of Khorne. Okay, champion's not giving up. He's going for the VP through the mid. 166.92. What a lad. I don't think Orconero is super interested in finishing this game. So Mark of CSM here. Big boom gun shot to the face. Level 4 CSM? Yeah, gotta be level 4 at this point. If they can do something here, it's gonna be a miracle. Just getting this decap is a miracle from Rem. Couldn't quite get the cap. What is this? It's stuff. It's Battle Wagon, which is gonna disgorge what? A bunch of flash kits? That's not very helpful for bashing a base. There's an Abyss again on the base. Very nasty. Oh, wow. Apparently flash kits are super effective at bashing bases. I had no idea psychic damage was so effective. That's crazy. 166 to 79. Orconero asking their allies to concede. Apparently they are not right now. Rem wants to fight it out for some reason. Down goes their base. You get 100 red for a base, apparently. Brother Captain. He's level 8. Can he get anything going here? Well, interceptors are flying in on the Sorcerer. And then they get vomited on. Does that not do friendly knockback? Well. Rem's heretics. There's only 2 of them left. Are they going to Doom Blast themselves to death? Oh, they didn't Doom Blast themselves. 166 to 79. Are they capping? They're not capping. They are not capping. They just want to delete bases, I guess. Assault squad on the way for Orconero. They are still not conceding for some reason. Where's Rem's tank? They're using this base to heal up. But Rem will not be able to produce any units anymore. And as you can see, their resource income is massively reduced, let's say. It's basically nothing now. Can they kill some Plague Marines, though? 1-to-1 cap. Doom bolts flying in. And there's that demonic shield. Noxious Cloud goes in. Imperial Abyss goes in. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Big ouch, big ouch. Great big ouches. Orconero just got triple assault squad up. Okay. Death Company are here. In full force. Rem is down to CSM and Plague Marines now. There's the 2-to-1. They have not gone for a triple cap, which they obviously could have got. They're making the red team suffer. And to be clear, the red team could concede. It seems like Orconero's tried to concede, but everyone needs to do so. The other fellas want to fight, apparently. Subjugated assault squad. Those guys having to run. You can't set an ally's stronghold as your retreat point if you still have yours. They might get 2 bases here. I'm not sure if they'll have time. Can they get one of the battle wagons down? 23 hit points. Force Commander's going after it with a power fist. But they can't catch it. It's too fast. I don't think they have anything to repair it with, though, do they? Nope. There are no repair units on the blue team whatsoever. It's a double cap now. Mercifully, ECE has started to cap their natural victory point And we are going to see a victory here for the blue team. And there it is, had a triple at the end. It was a very, very silly game. Level 7 Warboss for EceH, level 8 Warboss for FaffyWaffle. Level 10, he was level 10 for like 15 minutes, I think, this guy. Force Commander level 4. Orconero did so good on the west side. Vat struggled, had a bad game. Not sure if they're a newer player or if it was just one of those days. But yeah, they struggled to preserve stuff. They got like 4 Strike Squad out overall, I think. And a level 5 Plague Champion. Rem did quite well. But yeah, it was time to concede like 7 minutes ago. And they did not. So a bit of a silly ending. But some fun moments. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.